Hey, this is Les from the TV Dudes. This week, I was lucky enough to chat with actress Constance Shulman. You know her as Yoga Jones from Orange is the New Black, or as the voice of Patti Mayonnaise on the animated series Doug. But today we discuss her role in a virtual production of the powerful and timely new play SMITHTOWN, written by Drew Larimore and directed by Stephen Kitsakos. SMITHTOWN is a series of four interconnected but distinct monologues featuring an ensemble of top Broadway and television actors. The play will be available for an extended online engagement beginning February 13th. Tickets are available now at tskw.org/smithtown-2. That's the numeral 2. It's a fun interview, and I really hope you enjoy.
Hello.
Hi, Constance. This is Les from the TV Dudes.
Yes, hi. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. Thank you so much for making time today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. No, I like doing these things. They're fun.
I've asked folks before what the weirdest part of, all the unexpected stuff that comes with being a professional actor. You train up in your craft and then you get surprised by the weird realities of a job. And over and over, I have people tell me, yeah, doing press, I never expected to do press when I was in school.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're all it's a one-man job being artists because, you have to get out there and help spread the word about what you're working on. And that's probably increased over the years, and especially during this period now.
Yeah, and especially with all of y'all having such direct access now to all of us as viewers.
Yeah, absolutely right.
I just got done watching SMITHTOWN, or rewatching your bit in it, which deals partly with the weirdness of social media. I was excited to get to talk to you because I loved you on Orange is the New Black, and also you're Patti Mayonnaise, and so your voice will always be with me in that regard.
Right.
But I honestly, when I was doing research, I always thought Yoga Jones had a first name I simply didn't know, and was surprised.
Oh, yeah, right.
That
right.
she's just Yoga. Can you
but
talk?
She does have a first name, right?
Well,
it's Erica.
Oh, that's
Erica.
what I was trying to find. I was like, surely at some point there's another name. It's not Tennant. You're not the protagonist.
I don't know whether anybody calls her that. I mean, for some reason, I'm like, why do I even know that that's her name? So either I was just told that, or somewhere there's a reference and somebody's, one episode calls her that. But yeah.
So you grew up in Tennessee and then moved to New York, and I wanted to ask specifically about when you were pushing past that hump of I like acting, but I want to go really do this. Was there a choice in your mind between New York and LA? Did you want to aim at the stage, picking the school you did, and then moving forward? Was there?
Well, no, I never even thought of LA. New York was everything to me, and maybe that was, it was east side of the country. It was when I was younger, my parents used to take us all up to see Broadway shows, and so New York sort of had that. I don't know, that sort of heightened, exciting place to live for me, and I kind of associated it with the best of what actors can do. And so I came up with a couple of friends. I worked at a summer stock theater in Williamstown and moved to New York with a couple of friends that I met there. And I don't even know, I'm not sure what I thought was going to happen, but I went to sort of a theater program, a professional 2-year program, and then just, and then you just kind of figure out how hard it is, and you keep kind of trying different things. And I didn't have any connections and really didn't have a lot of information about what I was going to try to do once I got up here, other than study for a couple of years. And, somehow with a little bit of luck and perseverance and, maybe the timing, being in the right place at the right time, all of those actually did happen for me. And so, but I never thought about going to LA. I haven't spent that much time out there. I worked out there for maybe 4 months, but I don't think it's not my town. And unfortunately right now it's, going through a very, very rough time.
Yeah. Yeah. Seeing my friends' posts right now out of LA is just terrifying.
Yeah. And, we on the, in New York City know what they're experiencing. Yeah. So, my heart goes out to everybody. Yeah.
In terms of the impact on working, I assume it makes it lend itself towards plays like SMITHTOWN that can be essentially shot with just one person monologuing. But
right.
But can you talk a little bit about that? What it seems to me would be a weird blurring of the way that you would act on stage to the make it emote to the back row versus all of the takes and out of order stuff that can happen on a shooting a film set.
Right.
And then this weird blur. I was watching SMITHTOWN and thinking, wow, this is remarkable to all be done in one take. And then my brain went, less all plays are done in one take. That's only special in movies.
Well, it's a weird sort of hybrid of, emerging theater and film. And that's the world that we're living in right now, and how lucky that theater can have a life through this very unusual, Zoom experience that we're all living. But, this experience was so great. I had met Drew Larimore, the writer, several years ago, and worked on a different piece of his, which was also a monologue. And during this period where we're all sort of at home working, and it's very hard to connect to another actor on Zoom. It's not easy to do that. You feels like you're on a delay, and so any kind of spontaneity or richness of timing is very difficult. And to have the opportunity, to work on a monologue is, it's just on a Zoom experience is a much easier thing to do. And you're at home, and there is something so personal and intimate about working from your home, because you're in, I don't know, it's so personal how we live. And to bring, in this case, this woman that was going through, such an emotional challenge, to sort of experience that. And I was alone. I had Stephen, who was directing it, on the other end, but I'm still at home by myself, and it added such a richness for me to be able to bring this woman to life like that. So, as far as the difference in, I'm at home and I'm talking to a screen, as opposed to I'm in front of a lot of people on a stage by myself, I would think it was pretty much the same sort of experience as sort of bringing her to life, that energy that you get from being on a stage and the energy from the audience and the lights and, that sort of heightened feeling is certainly missed. But it became a more very intimate, personal thing doing this piece by myself at home. I don't know if that answers anything.
Oh yeah. So one of the things that had caught me when I was watching it was realizing that this is probably your home, and that that the space behind you. I have a
I
tendency
think I
to
was in my kitchen.
and I have a tendency to ascribe meaning like a Kubrick film to set design sometimes, and it started to occur to me, I wonder how much of this is affected, and how much is this just Constance's kitchen, or is there one weird in-frame space in your kitchen that looks like
Right. I think for me, and I know the four pieces, they were very different pieces, and mine was shot in my kitchen, and I wasn't in front of a screen. Nothing was, and Stephen, who was directing it, he would see what, we would sort of set up a shot and what the shot was going to be. And he'd be like, this is so colorful and warm. And, here, move a toaster. As far as that sort of thing, there was kind of, my house is very eclectic. So it's already a built-in set decoration, one big set. And I think the kitchen, it really worked for this piece and made her feel like she wasn't on a set. She was in her home where she was telling this and talking to the neighbors. And, you have to be creative because we're sort of limited. We don't have crews coming into our homes. But I think it worked out I thought it worked out really well.
Yeah, it looked perfect. It combined with I feel like Drew's language is so natural. There's times where I love this about plays, but they can often feel heightened, like a poem. I think David Mamet was probably the first time that I ever really noticed it. If you sound like a place, or
yeah, exactly, right.
But this doesn't have that, and it to the degree that I feel like your character is just a friend of a friend that I don't know that well, but I'm just absolutely listening to a real person's week here.
Yeah, very relatable. I think he has written very relatable people, and I felt so lucky getting to, sort of explore who this woman was. It was very, very upsetting, and I have 2 kids, and I have a daughter, and sort of experiencing that really deep, raw grief was painful. It was really painful. This was sort of a one performance situation. So I don't know what that would feel like doing something that sad night after night. I'd love to have that experience, but I'm wondering what that would feel like, because it's devastating what she's going through. But very relatable. Drew writes about, I think he's just a master of sort of dark comedy, because there are some funny things in this sort of dark situation. And you could connect to it so easily. And I think hopefully as an audience and watching it, just like you said, it's like, oh my gosh, that's somebody I bet I could know.
Mm-hmm. And there's a measured tension throughout your performance, from the anxiety of trying to open the cookies, and then later as the story unfolds, understanding why this person might have some undealt with anxiety happening all the time. But the measured pace of the ratcheting up of the emotion, you couldn't kick off with the character being in tears, but that has to come later. But I was struck by how how properly measured this performance would have to be to not walk me to the punchline, not
Yeah,
humorously,
right.
but to hit the ending too soon. Can you talk a little bit about rehearsing it, pacing it out, and decisions you made, trying to make sure that this hit right?
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. I think both Stephen and I talked about how, I guess we'd say she's running from a bear, and that you don't want to slow down, because you slow down and it's too much. It's too unbearable. So I feel like she's sort of running from, like a bear chasing her. And so there's a tempo to, oh my gosh, if I slow down, then the reality of my loss will set in. So I think both Stephen and I sort of took the piece like that. I mean, we ran through it many times. We talked a lot about sort of what you're saying, like not falling apart too soon, or not even falling apart at all, and just trying to keep it together. And I think when you're trying to keep it together, or at least I know for myself, you're at a speed that you normally wouldn't be operating on, because you're scared to slow down. Does that make sense? If you stop, then you're gonna feel too much, and then you're gonna go down a rabbit hole.
Absolutely.
And I think she's trying to stop herself from going down there, and having this opportunity to talk to people, which she probably hasn't done. She can talk about it and keep it moving. Get the cookies. Do you want more tea? Do you want this? And at the same time, talk about the Facebook and her daughter, and how important it is to keep someone alive through Facebook. I don't know. The whole thing is just so upsetting.
Yeah.
Really.
And it really does feel like she's just been up all night, and she has to pace, or if she sits down, she'll go to sleep. It's grief that'll hit her instead of sleep, but there's still that, nope, I got to keep moving. We got to keep chit-chatting. Come on.
Of course, and that has probably been what it has been for her since it happened. And at one point, she'll probably allow herself to collapse. But in this particular moment in Smithtown, in the scene, she's probably running from doing that. Yeah, not yet. Just not ready.
I don't think I've seen any fiction actually deal with the weirdness of the way Facebook handles things like that, and
I know.
It really it caught me off guard when that's been an odd thorn in my side for a few years now, with the loss of friends and how.
No, I agree. I'm misquoting the line. There's a part where it was like you're getting ready to end an account, and I don't do Facebook. But where Facebook, I guess, asks you, are you ready to say goodbye or something, before you. And that is so painful in this situation. And I can completely understand why she would want to keep her daughter's account going. We've all lost people that we care about, and I remember a friend in particular, and calling her number several times after she had already gone, because to hear her voice. And when somebody disconnected her phone, her cell number eventually, and she called that number, and it's a disconnected number. It's really, it's kind of shocking, and you're holding on.
I have a friend's voicemail I've moved from phone to phone. That's the same.
Yes. You're trying to keep that person alive through an answering machine, a voicemail, an email account, and in this case, a Facebook account. And we all have gone, we all know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a particularly modern, I think, odd take on, or odd wrinkle in grieving that is new, despite how old grieving is.
I know that's a great way of saying it. It's universal grief, and we have so many technologies now to kind of keep somebody alive. And, soon we'll have holograms of ourselves. And he captures that so well. And, I thought, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get what she's doing.
It's a wonderful play. I really hope folks get a chance to watch it. Despite all of the horribleness of 2020, one of the benefits is that I've gotten to see more, at least pseudo live theater. Which has been wonderful. Thanks to things just being forced online. But yeah, I hope people get to watch it. It's a wonderful performance that really snuck up on me. The what's happening to your character snuck up on me. It was wonderful.
Well, I really, thank you so much. One, I'm glad you saw it, and I'm glad it's getting a chance to have a life, because again, it's something that kind of gets under your skin, and surprisingly, you're like, oh, how am I going to be affected? The impact of watching something on my laptop or whatever. And to me, we've all had experiences during this period where we are affected by something like that we're watching, and it does get under your skin in maybe an uneasy way, but the impact is quite something. So I appreciate you giving the chance also to talk about it a little bit.
I was absolutely thrilled to get to. I love getting to finish watching something and then realize that I'm going to get to go speak with, whatever questions or whatever. Oh, I want to talk about this. I'm going to get to go speak with somebody involved with it. It's just so fun. So
yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Absolutely, and thank you. And stay safe.
You too. Okay.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
TV Dudes is an independently run podcast out of Austin, Texas. We are exclusively listener supported. If you'd like to help us out, go to patreon.com/TVDudes.
You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TV Dudes. All the music for our show is done by our friend and original TV Dude, Gregory J. Amani Smith.
To find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com. I'm Randy Lander.
I'm Les Weiler.
And I'm Kyle Scott.
Thanks for listening.